So like when a
Well,
flat earther has a foundational premise like geometry, like the shortest distance between 2 points, a straight line, a water level is a tool for establishing a horizontal plane of reference because the points of water establish a coplanar straight line of coplanar straight line, shortest distance between points. That would be foundational upon geometry. To remove
in a
that,
way, yeah.
right? That'd be foundational. Like, what is the
Yeah.
foundation
Yeah,
Actually,
for
that
the
claim is
for the
yeah, but
globe?
false.
it's not really foundational because I can agree that water broadly has those properties, but then we want to ask why. And so like when you're talking about level, what does level mean? It means perpendicular to the acceleration of gravity. Now you can balk at that, but I can demonstrate to you that there must be an acceleration that is the reason a bubble level, for example, reads level. Because if you take a bubble level and hold it flat to the ground, but you spin in a circle, the bubble won't be in the middle. And so if all level means is you're holding the thing perpendicular to the ground, then why is acceleration messing with it? Well, if acceleration is causing it to move, then what we do in physics, and like this really basic level kind of physics, is if you want to describe characteristics of something via motion, you have to describe the vectors involved with it. When it's at rest, all there is a downward acceleration. And I can demonstrate that by introducing a different acceleration that A changes its position and B changes its position in a predictable way by plugging in 9.8 meters per second of acceleration downward and whatever the lateral acceleration is, and that will describe where the bubble ends up. Or a better one for that would be it would predict and describe what angle to hold the level at so that the bubble does rest in the middle.
Okay, yeah, maybe.
Can I add something? He also mischaracterized at least what it takes to be a flat earther. It's not only believing those things. You also have to reject all of the evidence of the globe Earth.
Okay,
So
well,
just
here's
saying what it takes to be a flat earther is to believe those things isn't true. You also have to ignore the work of
Yo,
all of
is
the
this
people
two
in the
Hawkins
globe.
show or what? What's going on here?
probably.
I just wanted to make a point because no one else is talking. I get that you guys don't like when I do that.
May I,
I had something I wanted to say, but you talked, and now I forgot it, bro.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah,
may
you
I,
and Tony
Rip.
wanted to get in. Go ahead.
may I make a point? I feel that the no tanks actually, I was a staunch Christian for more than 30 years, and I feel like that religion is being misrepresented by no tanks. It didn't stop me from being a scientist. At no stage did I think that God was a prerequisite for observations. I was invited, actually, after receiving my PhD, to sign that petition, PhDs who don't agree with evolution. And
These guys
when
just don't understand the argument at all.
I was still speaking, and when I was invited to do so, it occurred to me, I've got no basis for saying that other scientists are wrong in their discipline because I have a religious belief. That's not how anything works. And so I feel like you're completely misrepresenting, in my view, how religion should work. You can have a
And you don't
belief
know
in
what
God.
faith is, dude, obviously.
Let him finish.
Okay.
Let him finish.
Okay. You can make that position, but I'm, as Peterson very eloquently just described, there is no reason to think that God is a prerequisite, and you need to be very careful. The surface of water does not form a straight line. It forms what's called an equipotential surface, which is to say that the gravitational and rotational potential at every point along the surface is approximately equal in mean. That's very different from saying that it's a straight line and it's horizontal. Anyway, sorry for interrupting. I just wanted to say, as a former Christian, if I was still a Christian now, I'd be outraged by that characterization of my faith.
Yeah,
All
there's
the
another.
faith that you do not hold. Yeah, that's okay. So, I mean, like, I did put it to all religions, and like to define a religion would just be whatever it is that you ultimately reference the authority that you reference to know whether something is true or not, and what's the foundation for any kind of claim that you're gonna make. Okay, that's it.
Yeah,
For every religion, whatever it is that you're going to ultimately reference to know whether something's true or not.
But you referenced establishing a horizontal plane. That doesn't mean flat Earth. I mean, you can't assume a horizontal plane equals flat Earth and just say that it's coplanar with everywhere else. You'd have to establish two horizontal planes and then compare the two. And then you'd have to get them so far apart that it's difficult to do. You'd have to do it instrumentally.
Yeah, you're imagining some kind of model, you guys. Like I see Peterson has it, a finger painting of a model, but we all know that horizontal is an orientation, and that orientation can be established. I would just put it to the room, right, for you guys, so you can all know it to be true. Just go out into reality and make 3 points of equal elevation, and let everybody know how you did it, and come back.
Yeah, I've seen this done, and it unequivocally proves that the Earth's surface is curved, because I've seen people go to mountaintops and then they use a level, and they level the water, and then they aim their camera right in line with that level sight. And what they do is they point the camera at a mountain that is in the distance, that is higher than where they are, and yet the peak of the mountain is below the level line. So
the beauty of the water level is you don't sight it. You don't have to sight a water level. What you can do is you can just measure the distance, the shortest distance between points established by the water level. And any optics, like if we're all wondering, hey, is there some kind of optical phenomenon going on, we can remove that from the equation and just measure based on axioms, shortest distance between points, that this is a truth, mathematical truth.
What does that mean? Shortest distance between 2 points. That doesn't mean flat Earth.
That has nothing to do with the shape of the ground.
No, yeah, we don't. It doesn't measure the shape of the ground. No, that's ridiculous. Like, the shape of the ground is measured in the vertical change from the horizontal. It's up or down in reference to the horizontal. The Earth goes up and down.
Yeah. So we can put, for instance, a GPS receiver on a ship and watch the height of the ship change relative to the reference ellipsoid. So claiming that water is flat is demonstrably untrue. We can use GPS to show that there are, in fact, hundreds of meters of deviation from the reference ellipsoid. So your claim that water just forms a flat or orthogonal level, a horizontal level, is demonstrably false. We can do measurements with water level over the oceans. Even ignoring wave action, you can see hundreds of meters. Can you not interrupt me while I'm talking, because it indicates that you're not actually listening to what I say?
I'm saying you did it then. You did the 3 points of equal elevation.
Not me personally. I work with professional surveyors, but when we validate, for instance, satellite altimetry missions, one of the ways that we do it is by putting GPS on ships, or buoys, as you Americans like to call them. I would pronounce it buoys. But you put a GPS receiver in there, and then you cross-check it against altimetry readings from the same for the same location. And when we do this, we can see that there are quite significant deviations in mean sea level, up to, as I say, of a scale of more than 100 meters. So the claim that the oceans are flat is just measurably untrue.
Yeah, I agree. The oceans are up and down. There's swells and all over the place.
No, even beyond that, the global mean sea level shows systematic deviations of more than 100 meters. There is a thing called the Indian Ocean geoid low, which is 100 meters below, which is just off the southern tip of India, and sea level there is 100 meters below the reference ellipsoid.